dark and you go above the darkness, eating at your flesh into a halo above yourself, embracing yourself, then drifting on what turns you on? It was the question and afterthoughts that clung like the rain, still wet on her skin, a silk, wet rain, that she wore in her thoughts between the sheets. Excerpts from Spellbound, a prelude to the release of Black Harlequin. I want you to lay beside me if there were no end and eternity was the beginning. A drink of your kiss has taken me so much deeper. Whirls of emotion and turns of devotion, finesse eyes you're delicate and sincere. I take with me beauty's portrait and breast the unknown, welcome your days I do cherish and commit to invest fragile innocence blurs the bottom of trodden days never flown. Beside me you will be strong. Fiery rain seen. Fire thirsting for the rain of the sweat of their skin, the night tightened, and the air ran off the walls. The rush of the grasp of more than bodies tangled in what now became the floor made the love scene and the gravity closed, confusing day and night, no longer distinguishable between an affair of 24 hours of day. The light of day hadn't broke the embrace between floods of concentration, never leaving one another. Black Harlequin excerpt/spellbound by
She opened the flower of the collar, and Chaz her feminine scarf of a woman's neckline, with the close of his fantasies or remembrances of the last time a woman untied his tie. With Dante hands of femininity. Nights before his profession buttoned, she pinned her hair under his brim, then polished her hairline. Looking into his reflection, to see him again, stranger, the two not together. Unparalleled, was like never meeting, only it to remind me of how much I missed you, to see into a reflection and feel my own breathe, still breathing heavily from the cascading hands. Hours passing over and over, the allure. The passion and hunger pace time's cavity into the deliverance of some of the most provocative thoughts to give rise to capturing poetic embraces words not to fall short of remembering. From the collection of poetry and blog author Jocelyn Shaw. Visit http://giselenisminternational.blogspot.com/2012/06/it's-another-preview-of-black-harlequin.html As the morning introduced, she opened the flower of the collar, and Chaz her feminine scarf of a woman's neckline, with the close of his fantasies or remembrances of the last time a woman untied his tie. With Dante hands of femininity. Nights before his profession buttoned, she pinned her hair under his brim, then polished her hairline. Looking into his reflection, to see him again, stranger, the two not together. Unparalleled, was like never meeting, only it to remind me of how much I missed you, to see into a reflection and feel my own breathe, still breathing heavily from the cascading hands. Hours passing over and over, the allure. The passion and hunger pace time's cavity into the deliverance of some of the most provocative thoughts to give rise to capturing poetic embraces words not to fall short of remembering. From the collection of poetry and blog author Jocelyn Shaw. Visit http://giselenisminternational.blogspot.com/2012/06/it's-another-preview-of-black-harlequin.html=1.
Ebony and E-Mystery had come to the promise of another closing goodbye. This time Haven lasted the age of fire to ash, camped alongside the two lovers and their collected thoughts that poured into a nonverbal composition. Returning in the remnants of woven clouds dissipating with the early rays and the first opening of E-Mystery's eyes, was the thoughts of. Where the air stood still and circled her thoughts that draped down the bosom of her face. Lay on her cheeks, the remaining chill and waters of his caress. Passionate thoughts. Ebony was poetry in. And of himself. Who was now in the shadows of the previous evening. Number 2. As we continue with another sneak peek from Black Harlequin, the romance revealed. Airy whispered confessions emerged, loosened secrets, alive, born from questions. Disguised and unliked, unfriendly. No longer neighbors of intimacy afar. In a soulless haste, rushing and crashing, escaping wreckage, was almost a tragedy, but a shadow that remained, was how words revealed that the moments into time, was the day and cast of their silhouettes, stone. Moments that came on shockingly when E-Mystery was relieved by Ebony's call, upon receiving the scented letters from E-Mystery. Owning it, his tone, his voice, hushed. The absent questions that they didn't speak. It was the poetry of E-Mystery's letter. Captivating, was the beginnings, the climax and renewal of the lovers' correspondence, caress, that made for the age of days, to come to pass. And the bareness of the words. That was the seduction. The endeavor of Ebony's labor had subsided to less strenuous days. And the hangover of weekend getaways was sure to be the foreplay. in the late company of etiquette. For this occasion was embossed with the crest of more days that would be spent with each other. Fermented sheets entombed the magic of the atmosphere like in a ripe harvest that they ate amongst each other's company. Mystery lay with Ebony, as they dispelled the load of weighted days past the days of romance were calling. Ebony lined Mystery's lips with the tips of his fingers, haloing the peak of their conversation. She breathed a smile, and the allure of watching her movements across the suite to the jacuzzi was arousing enough to know that this was a day's keepsake and no intrusion would break the seduction. Mystery broke the air with the smell of a rose-scented candle that made Ebony smile at her trained efforts to appease the hour. And him. Yes, this was the union of days that they'd been rehearsing in erotic scripts apart. The warm rush of the water was like wine to Mystery as she sipped on Ebony's shoulders and smiled in between the doses of therapeutic drops that came from Ebony's bowl, hand in shadow. Which made for the realness of a bouquet coupled with the scent of the candle that burned wayside the portrait of the two. The light of the candle burned and Mystery smoothed the liquefied soy of the candle that remained on the heavy glass plate with her fingers into a circle. As she echoed Ebony's previous touch across her back, she caught Ebony's attention and eased deeper into their night's passion. The craft of the evening broke a longing of two sensuous souls. Preface. 7 Days to Romeo. The Portrait of a Man. Under the Moon. When a woman wants a man. The curtains drew on her gun, and shot down her thoughts that seemed to deepen her desire for the taste of his hips. The turn of his muscle, the kiss and taste of his tongue, one night that was caught breathless. The night had stolen blown kisses of her pleasures and hung thoughts of escapades with her lover in her head. Now the fault line between what could shake and rattle the crevasses, she began the craft the subjective to deliver her account of the events. Or did you not know there happens to be more than one version of the story? Preview. Book 6 in the Black Harlequin, the romance revealed book series available through Amazon. Author Jocelyn Shaw. When the waters are clear, it's smooth sailing, but there's chaos amongst pirates. The course is off track and there's no honor amongst thieves as the ship sails to Mansoura, Egypt. Book 6 goes abroad with the naughty influence of Queel but the talents of the veteran model, Ebony, and a new face, Astairs, captured in the campaign splashed across the globe. The campaign launched not only a trip but a new single from the international recording artist, Pharaoh. As Ebony picks his poison, he's challenged by loyalty in and out of the sheets, contracts beyond the scope of passion, lust and acts of commission. Chapter 1. Lotus and Queel arranged the final details of the campaign to set in motion a trip and stay abroad to last 6 weeks, part of the contract for the upcoming year for Ebony and Astairs hosted in Mansoura, Egypt. Pharaoh, the music recording artist, was coming in from Bilqis, Egypt to perform his new song. The arrangements, by Lotus, included 2 adjoining suites during the stay that would provide a bungalow for the 2 models to stay in touch with one another as well as keep Lotus and Queel within distance. Within distance was exactly what Queel had set up, as he'd be viewing Astairs' suite from his laptop surveillance, his own camera crew assistants set up abroad by his cohorts in the scandal. Queel's legs in the blueprint included Astairs for sure, but mice amongst men included his team going abroad making secret